Good morning. Happy 4th of July. Welcome to day 4 of the Psalms per Summer Challenge. You know the drill. Pray, read thoroughly, pray thoroughly, read thoroughly, and answer these questions. If you're not done 1 and 2, go do that now. But welcome. Good morning. Okay, this psalm is awesome. I learned it in high school, and it is epic. So, Psalm 19, day 4, Psalm 19. Once again, a psalm of David. Verses 1 and 2. Really, verses 1 through 4. The heavens are telling the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of his hands. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. There is no speech, nor are there words. Their voice is not heard. Their line has gone out through all the earth, and their utterances to the end of the world. In them he has placed a tent for the sun. How does this make sense? How do the heavens tell the glory of God? How does their expanse declare the works of his hands? How are they pouring forth speech day after day if they have no mouth, and yet it says they have no speech, they have no words, and yet their voice is not heard, and yet their line has gone throughout all the earth, their utterances to the end of the world? If you look up and you see the moon and the stars and the sun, who put those there? God. God created the sun and the moon and the stars, and when we look up and we see the sky, it is God's creation. In the same capacity, we look up, we see a tree, we see grass, we see a rock. It tells the glory of God. When we look at all of these things, we look at all of these awesome things, and we get to look past them and understand that our Creator is the one behind them. The glory of God is indisputable. There's no argument that refutes the glory of God. When you open your eyes, when you look at anything in this world, you see it is created by our God. It declares his glory. Their line goes out. Their utterances are heard. God has presented his glory and his greatness through everything. This tonight, when you look at even the fireworks, or maybe you just look at the grass, or maybe you go to bed and you look at your ceiling, think about all the things that God has created, and that is the smallest glimpse of his glory. When you see a great artwork, you think, wow, that painter, very talented, that sculptor, wow, he's awesome. When you consider the universe, we consider the God who created the sun and the moon and the stars and the trees and the rocks and the grass. Everything that we see is created by God. And now everything that mankind has made in the same capacity. When you look at fireworks tonight, God created man, who then creates fireworks. The fireworks themselves are a display of God's glory because we are created in his image. We are given the ability and the knowledge to do these things. When you look at anything that has been created, we get to trace them back to God. It's we look at the front hand on the front, we see the creation, and yet behind it, we see that it is the God behind all things that are created. The heavens tell the glory of God. And then there's this awesome excerpt, verses 7 through 11. It talks about the law of the Lord, how it's perfect, how it restores the soul, it makes the wise simple, it is rejoicing the heart, and enlightens our eyes. And the inquiry, for me, what is this law? It's not, right? We look at the Gospels and we say, man, I love reading the Bible because the Gospels are so cool, and we see Christ lay down his life. No, it's not the Gospels that he's speaking of. Is it the Ten Commandments out of Exodus 20? Is that this law that he delights in? In part, yes. This is the first 5 books of the Bible. This is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. This alone was the laws, as David would refer to it, the Torah, and it was perfect. He delighted in these 5 books. We delight in Colossians and Matthew and Hebrews and all these cool things. He has these 5 books, and his soul is restored. His wisdom, or the simpleness, is made wise. Why? Because in these books, he gets to see the character of God, the nature of God, the heart of God for his people, the plan for man's life, what God desires of people, how a man can be blessed, how a man can walk in a way that is pleasing to the Lord. And it was awesome to see David be this captivated and enamored and in love with the law, the first 5 books of the Bible, just to have these things, to read Leviticus and go, this is perfect. It is pure. It is right. Do we look at any of our Bibles this way? Could you have said before the Lord any of these things with absolute sincerity? The law of the Lord is perfect, restoring the soul. It is more desirable than gold. Do you desire the book of Leviticus more than gold? I often don't, truthfully. And that is wrong, simply put. It is a lack of appreciation for our God who created the sun and the stars, and yet the same God gave us a book in which we can understand him, who he is, what he has done. We get to see his glory and his plan for mankind, his plan for salvation. We delight in the word, we delight in the law, not just because it tells us what to do and what not to do, but because we learn who God is. The law reveals God, his character, his nature, his desires for all of us. Lastly, we'll look at verse 12 and 13. Who can discern his errors? Look back, verse 11, 12, 13. Moreover, by them your servant is warned, and keeping them there is great reward. Who can discern his errors? Acquit me of hidden faults, and also keep me back. Keep your servant back from presumptuous sins. Let them not rule over me. Then I'll be blameless, and I shall be acquitted of great transgression. This right here is a prayer of David. At the end of all these things, he praises God for his creation and the glory revealed through the stars and the moon and the sun. And then he goes to the law and he gives praise and glory to God for revealing himself and explaining his desire for mankind and his nature and his character and all these things. And then he says, keep your servant back from presumptuous sins, or acquit me of hidden faults. So this first one, hidden faults. If there's a sin within me that I don't know about, if there's a wrong heart attitude, if there's a problem within here that I'm unaware of, acquit me of it, remove it, fix me. If there's a hidden, secret sin within me, remove it, set me right. This is a prayer for purity. And on the same hand, he says, keep your servant back from presumptuous sins. These are loud, bold, willing, choosing sins. So saying, acquit me of any sin that I might do in my heart and my head quietly and secretly. And on the same hand, keep me back from any bold, flagrant, dangerous, fiery sin. On both sides, he's saying, make me pure in heart, make me pure in actions. He's praying that he would be pure. Let my sin not rule over me. Then I shall be blameless and acquitted of great transgression. Then lastly he says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. The words, his praise, he says, let this be pleasing, and yet he says, let the meditation, let what was in my heart be acceptable in my sight. It's this, it displays what worship is. We call praise worship often, praise singing songs out to God, and yet if I sing the words of the song and my heart is entirely set on something completely different, it's not worship. Worship is treasuring God above all else, and I can sing words and I can say things, but if I don't mean them, it doesn't matter. So he says, let the words of my mouth, let my praise be meaningful, but he says, let my heart be in line with it. Don't let me say a single word that my heart doesn't mean. David prays, keep me from sin, both hidden and bold, and let me praise you, and let my praise be pleasing and honorable in your sight, but let my heart be in the same capacity. This should be our prayer often. Remove all sin from me, whether it's quiet or bold, and let my words and let my actions, let my life, let the way that I live be pleasing to you, but let my heart follow in stride, that my heart and my mind would be entirely set on you. This is a great prayer today and forever. Remove my sin, that I shall be acquitted of great transgression, and then let my actions, let my life and my heart be entirely pleasing and acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. An awesome psalm. I hope you guys have a lovely 4th of July. Answer these questions, and I'll see you tomorrow in person at church. Peace.